Flames continue to move through the dry hills around Santa Clarita tonight as the Powerhouse Fire just gobbles up more acreage and lights up the night sky. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the KTLA 5 News at 10. I'm Rick Chambers.
And I'm Courtney Friel. Residents of Castaic, Santa Clarita, and surrounding areas have kept a wary eye on the enormous cloud of smoke and ash today, mushrooming hundreds of feet into the skies above them.
Yeah, here's the latest now on the Powerhouse Fire, at least at this hour. It's burned over 5,600 acres so far. It's just 20% contained. About 1,000 firefighters, though, have been out there enduring triple-digit heat and single-digit humidity on the fire lines. There have been some evacuations ordered in the Lake Elizabeth area, just west of Lancaster from San Francisco Canyon up to Lake Elizabeth Road, and then areas just south of Lake Hughes Road as well. KTLA 5 Steve Kush, he has literally been out there in the middle of the firestorm today. He joins us live with the very latest from his point. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Rick and Courtney. Fire crews were hoping it wasn't going to come to this, but they had to evacuate hundreds of families who were in the path of the Powerhouse Fire. Inside this Red Cross shelter behind me, a lot of evacuees told me they only had a single hour to grab everything they could from their homes and then get the heck out of there. This Powerhouse Fire at one point had me and my photographer, Chris, completely surrounded, as we saw at 6 o'clock. And to be honest, it was very frightening, and it felt like Armageddon. The destruction looks like an atom bomb went off. On the road we drove in on, burnt trees, bushes, and piles of flaming ash are all that remains. Has it been moving faster, spreading faster than you anticipated?
A lot faster. Yeah, critical rates of spread, which is very dangerous.
These power lines were no match for the power the wildfire was packing. Several burned down, blocking off roads. A half-mile-long stretch of campground fencing left mangled and melted over on its side. And if you think this outhouse smelled bad before, the newly cooked waste inside smells 10 times worse now. The fire burned its way all the way up to this go-kart track. Thankfully for the owner, for the time being, these carts look like they can still race, even if they're really hot. Ow. Thousands of people were ordered to evacuate from their homes as the fire crept into their backyards.
We had no idea that it was going to come that close, but yeah, it's pretty stressful.
The Red Cross is setting up to take care of as many evacuees as necessary.
She was saying we got to get out of here, and I was the one that was saying, hey, you know, I want to stay a little bit longer. And I was watching the playoff game, too.
Firefighters say when the conditions are right, these flames can move across the ground at about 8 to 10 miles an hour. That's as fast as your friend can jog to you.
The thing that we cannot control or we cannot dictate are the winds and fire behavior with that wind.
With the roar of the flames echoing throughout the mountains, firefighters are just hoping they can get this fire to stop before it does any more damage.
Unbelievable. It was a pretty good idea to leave the street indeed.
Yeah, we're gonna
bump on up here and find somewhere to hold up and hopefully get that unit up pretty quick.
Where that Powerhouse Fire has grown from the 5,000 acres the other day to now 20,000 acres.
And more evacuations have been ordered this morning. KTLA's Kimberly Chang has been live near Elizabeth Lake all morning for us, and she has the latest information now. Hi.
Good morning. Yeah, we're told that Elizabeth Lake right now is under voluntary evacuation, and Lake Hughes, which is just down the road here, is also under mandatory evacuations. Take a look around me here. You can see now the damage that was caused by this Powerhouse Fire. Take a look at this fence, just completely melted down. The landscape here charred. Some of the residents were just out here a few minutes ago taking a look for the first time at the damage in this area. Now, we know that 2,100 firefighters are now here fighting the Powerhouse Fire. And we're told that rapid rates of spread, that's what they saw last night, with a high resistance to control efforts, and there was moderate to long-range spotting. We're also told that winds and dry brush contributed to those overnight burns just north of Lake Hughes Road. Now, again, Lake Hughes under mandatory evacuation and Elizabeth Lake under voluntary evacuation. Right now, we know 5 homes have been destroyed, and we're told at least 10 more are believed to have been damaged, but right now we don't know exactly where those homes are, or if they're homes, or if they possibly could be structures. And we're also being told that more than 1,000 structures are being threatened this morning. Let's take a listen to the latest information given to us by USFS.
We're going to get a damage assessment team in there this morning. With the light now, we can evaluate what's going on with the structures. We also have infrastructure, power lines that have fallen down that are on the roads. So it's a very dangerous situation. We still got a lot of stuff that we're trying to manage, including the fire's perimeter is still our major goal. We're still trying to get the fire under containment, and major spread is in the north end of the fire and the south end of the fire.
And that was the Forest Service spokesperson you just heard from, and he tells me that the challenge this morning really is trying to coordinate those 2,000 firefighters right now. The weather has been cooling a bit, so he tells me that that is helping a bit. Now, we're also told that there have been downed power lines in the area. We saw poles burning, some of them falling into the roadway, and the fire department is telling us to be very careful. If you're still in this area, you have to treat them as if they're energized. The power company is expected to shut off those lines, but again, you have to treat them as they're live. And we see a resident here who's just walking up to us right now. Hi, ma'am. You live close in the area?
I live in Green Valley.
Queen Valley. Can you kind of meet me halfway here? You live in the area? Do you live in the area?
I live in Green Valley.
In Green Valley.
I write for our local newspaper.
Okay.
And I'm coming around to let people in Green Valley know what is still okay and what isn't.
So what have you seen so far? We've kind of been stationed in just a couple of areas here in Elizabeth Lake, but what have you seen?
St. Elizabeth Mission is fine. The post office is fine. Hughes Elizabeth Lake School is fine. It's been burned right up to the ground, to the edges, but it's okay. Painted Turtle looks like most of the buildings survived. A lot of the grounds are gone, but the buildings are still there.
We heard that 5 homes were destroyed in Lake Hughes. Have you been to that area?
I went through there, didn't see anything. It looks like Lake Elizabeth got worse than Hughes. But I don't know. I'm not going to go where it's dangerous.
Have you seen a lot of people who have chosen to stay in this area?
Several.
And what have they been telling you?
I didn't talk with any of them. I just saw them from the car. Yeah. The Hughes Elizabeth Lakes Community Center is fine. Burned right up to everything, but the buildings are still there.
Okay, thank you so much for
You're
chatting
welcome.
with us this
You're
morning. And as you guys mentioned back in the studio, this fire has grown to 19,500 acres, just 20% contained. But yesterday we were just reporting about 5,000 acres had burned, so it grew significantly. They're still trying to get a handle on it, and they're expecting full containment sometime on Wednesday, so still a lot of work ahead. For now, we're live near Elizabeth Lake. Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News, back to you in the studio.
Kimberly, that's sad to hear. That Painted Turtle camp right there is a camp for kids with disabilities.